Hello, Atlanta Falcons fans. Today we have some exclusive news that you can't miss, so get ready, because there's a lot of important information coming your way. Before we get started, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Atlanta Falcons. Don't forget to like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to those who are most passionate about the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Falcons. Is there still a possibility of a Kirk Cousins trade? The Falcons have been vocal since the end of last season that they are comfortable keeping Kirk Cousins on the roster as the team's backup quarterback behind Michael Penix Jr. Initially, most executives around the league called this a bluff, believing the Falcons were simply saying this in the hopes of a trade happening faster. Now, I'm not sure anyone really has a clue what's going on in Flowery Branch. NFL free agency is over, the NFL draft is weeks away, off-season activities will begin shortly after, and Kirk Cousins is still on the Falcons roster with no one seemingly interested in trading him. The Cleveland Browns were the only team that insiders consistently linked to the veteran quarterback. But with the signing of Joe Flacco, it certainly seems like that's no longer a possibility, even if Albert Breer isn't ruling it out entirely just yet. So where could Cousins go? I think Cleveland is a much less likely prospect right now, but not completely impossible. The other team I would pay attention to is the Pittsburgh Steelers, if Aaron Rodgers decides not to go there. How he fits in there, with the strong personalities, in that locker room, and on offense in particular, is a fair question. But it's not a stretch to imagine a marriage of convenience between two teams that, once the dust settles on Rodgers, might need each other, Breer wrote. Kirk Cousins coming to Cleveland seems like a distant dream at this point, and everyone is linking Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. If that happens, there's no other logical place for the veteran to land. Should the Falcons risk trading Jalen Ramsey? The Falcons didn't do much to improve one of the worst defenses in football last year. They essentially replaced Justin Simmons, Grady Jarrett, and Matthew Judon with Jordan Fuller, Morgan Fox, and Leonard Floyd. As one NFL executive put it, the Falcons replaced average with average in free agency. The club also brought in Divine Diablo and brought back Mike Hughes and D. Alford to bolster the second and third tiers of the defense. It leaves a lot to be desired. That puts immense pressure on previous year's draft picks to become legitimate contributors. Rook Orhorhoro, Braylon Trice, Brandon Dorlus, Arnold Ebiketie, Zach Harrison, Troy Anderson, Clark Phillips, DeMarco Hellams, and D'Angelo Malone have represented a lot of draft capital over the years, and virtually none of them, with the exception of perhaps Ebiketie, have become consistent contributors. This also puts pressure on Terry Fontenot to get things right in the upcoming draft, which currently has just 5 picks. Fontenot has struggled in that area, especially finding immediate contributors outside of the first round. However, finding proven talent on the trade market is much easier, and a star quarterback is suddenly available. According to Ian Rappaport, the Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey have agreed to explore trade options, with the source noting that it wouldn't be a superhero move if he played elsewhere in 2025. The Falcons have about $10 million in cap space, so they would have to create some wiggle room. But that could be done through a restructure or re-signing Jesse Bates III and Darnell Mooney. Of course, a Kirk Cousins trade after June 1st would provide the most financial relief, though I'm not sure the Falcons can count on that. As for Jalen Ramsey, he has a guaranteed salary of $24.3 million in 2025, with a salary cap hit of approximately $16.6 million. The Dolphins and Ramsey just signed a 3-year, $72.3 million contract extension in September, making him the highest-paid cornerback in the league. After this year, Ramsey is due $66.7 million in cash over the next 3 seasons. Not only is this a small contract to negotiate, but it should lower Miami's asking price. For the Falcons, the connection and need are there. Head coach Raheem Morris was the Rams' defensive coordinator during part of Ramsey's tenure in Los Angeles. Morris saw the All-Pros talent firsthand, and Ramsey is a big fan of Morris, praising him when Atlanta signed him. Ramsey will be 34 when his contract ends, and while some Falcons fans may be concerned about his ability at that age, a late career move to safety, similar to Charles Woodson, is certainly a possibility. I don't think I need to say this, but there are probably some fans out there thinking about it right now. Just because the Falcons re-signed Mike Hughes and D. Alford, as well as Clark Phillips and Kevin King, doesn't mean a cornerback in the draft or a trade for Jalen Ramsey is out of the question.